Arsenal's attack in recent times has become a bit of a cheat code. The gaffer Mikel Arteta has made minor adjustments to Arsenal's attack, which has so far made a massive difference, and the timing of this tweak seems to be perfect with the Premier League title race starting to heat up. This tweak from Arteta mostly involves what they are doing down the right hand side with Timber, Ødegaard and Saka combining and linking up. Football is a numbers game, and Arsenal are finding ways to increase those numbers, creating heavy overloads in certain zones. This of course serves a purpose and has enhanced Arsenal's overall attack. Plus, Nicolas Jove's set-piece routines, well, they are a cheat code on their own. So let's break down Arsenal's new tweaks and the set-piece routines. So first off, let's focus on this tactical tweak that Arteta has made down the right hand side. The return of Martin Ødegaard has played an important role, operating as that right-sided number 8. Since his return, Arsenal have scored 16 goals in 5 games, including scoring 5 in back-to-back away games against Sporting in the Champions League and then West Ham in the league. On the right side, it's about rotations where they break their positional play. Occupying specific zones on the right becomes less important. Saka is a clear danger for the opposition to highlight, therefore they often double up on him, getting 2 defenders to press Saka when he's in possession. Saka is therefore less likely to be in 1v1 situations with defenders, so what we see now is plenty of positional rotations on the right side. What helps this is that Arsenal have the quality to be highly effective at it. The right back Timber makes overlapping runs, taking a defender away from Saka. Saka can then cut inside with more space for a shot or link up with Ødegaard, but all 3 players down Arsenal's right side are comfortable receiving the ball out wide and in the channel, so this allows rotations between the players. Arsenal's bias to attack down the right hand side is clear looking at their passing maps. Notably, the positioning of the right back has evolved from the traditional patterns associated with Arsenal's build-up play. Timber is now frequently found occupying more advanced positions, which enhances the support for key player Saka. This change effectively reduces Saka's isolation when the opposition tries to double up on him, as Saka will now encounter less pressure due to the supporting movements of Timber and Ødegaard occupying the defenders. Against Manchester United, Martin Ødegaard completed 6 progressive passes, 3 key passes, 6 dribbles and had an expected assist of 0.67. Ødegaard was able to consistently be creative due to the spacing and rotations down the right hand side. Bukayo Saka was also being a consistent threat against Manchester United on the right flank with 8 progressive carries. The left wing dynamic in this case has become more about getting the left winger in 1v1 situations against the fullback. Once Martinelli or Trossard receive the ball into feet, the opposition fullback will now look to engage, creating a distance between himself and the central defenders. Arsenal then aim to capitalise on this by providing support through underlapping runs into the channel space, typically by the left-sided central midfielder Declan Rice or the left-back Ricardo Calafiori. Another tweak made by Arsenal in their most recent games is finding the wingers with over-the-top balls. These aren't hit-and-hope passes though. Arsenal will look to get a central midfielder or the central forward to make deliberate movements into a channel, triggering a central defender to step up and off his defensive line. Once the defender is lured away, a winger makes a well-timed run behind the defensive line, anticipating a clip ball over the top from a deep-lying player who is in possession. This movement, of course, is not random, it is coordinated. The synergy between the players is vital as it relies on precise timing and awareness to ensure that the winger can capitalise on the space created by the central defender's movement. A prime example of this goal will be Arsenal's second against Sporting. Rice makes the deliberate movement of occupying Sporting's left-sided central defender. This forces the defender to step out of his defensive line. That instantly triggered Saka's run to exploit that space. Partey plays a clip ball over the top, and all Saka has to do now is square the ball across the goal for an easy tap-in. This tweak has allowed Arsenal to add a new dimension to their attacking play, making them more unpredictable and difficult to defend against. By effectively utilising over-the-top passes, they can stretch the opposition and create high-quality chances, showcasing the attacking prowess and tactical sophistication on the pitch. Arsenal build up with fluidity during each game. In the build-up, players frequently interchange positions to create confusion in the opposition's defensive structure. It's hardly the same throughout a match, a testament to Arsenal's ability to adapt. The The right back can tuck in alongside the two central defenders, or he can take up a more wide position. The left back can invert and rotate positions with the left-sided central midfielder, essentially swapping positions to evade markers. Ødegaard, he can drop deeper, adding another body in the build-up, and the goalkeeper can also involve himself in the build-up, often acting as an additional passer to initiate attacks from deep. As said before, football is a numbers game, and Arsenal are creative with their overloads. To note, from goal kicks, Arsenal don't always plan to look pretty and build up with short passes. Instead, they can use their strengths in Kai Havertz and go directly to him from the goalkeeper and then look to win the second ball. Arsenal will adapt to the current match situations. Set pieces. Nicholas Yova told me that he liked this video and subscribed to the channel, which is the reason why Arsenal are now scoring so many goals from set pieces, so I think you guys should like this video and subscribe as well. It's become important to Arsenal collecting 3 points, and they have multiple routines. These corners tend to be in-swinging. They've hit 83 in-swinging corners compared to just 3 out-swingers. Arsenal look to overload the far post with many players. When the corner is taken, multiple players run towards the near post to attack and block, while a player will look to mark the goalkeeper, making it near impossible for the goalkeeper to come off his line and claim the ball. As Arsenal send multiple players towards the near post, they have a player or players remain at the far post, but also have someone from the edge of the box making a run towards the far post in case the corner is overhit or finds its way to the back post. The target for these corners, distance-wise, they often go towards the near post, but they aim for the goal directly, knowing minimal contact with the ball can result in a goal. But also rebounds. If the initial ball contact gets blocked or saved, Arsenal have numerous bodies in close proximity to tap the ball in. Though, because of Arsenal's adaptability, these corners aren't always intended for the near post. They are also strong at aiming at the far post. As the season rolls on, it will be fascinating to see how Arteta further tweaks his tactics to tackle different issues. Each game will present a new challenge, and it's all about finding that sweet spot between sticking to the game plan and being flexible enough to exploit weaknesses in the opposition. Whether it's in the Premier League or in the Champions League, the key will be how Arteta maximises Arsenal's potential. With a squad full of talent, the ability to adapt and innovate could be the difference between a good season and a great one. Supporting the Patreon can be a great way to support the channel and future videos. You can support the channel from as little as £3. Make sure you check out the link in the description below where you get early access content to these videos. So here are the player roles from what we see in Mikel Arteta's Arsenal system. Starting with the goalkeeper, of course we want him to sweep up any long balls or through balls that get in behind our high defensive line, but also he can start initiating attacks with the ball at his feet. For right back, I've chosen the wing back because automatically he will look to get further forward, and that way he can support Saka with overlaps or underlaps. And at left back, we've gone with the inverted wing back. Now this is actually fairly structured, so when you are building up, he is going to move into that pivot area. Now if you want a more fluid build up shape, you can go for a fullback on support, and that way you can add cut inside and sit more narrow in hope you get a more fluid build up structure. Our two central defenders, William Saliba, a ball playing defender. He has the license to bring the ball forward, and then his defensive partner is a Gabriel, a standard central defender. Moving into midfield, I have given Partey the register role on support, so he's going to be the main playmaker. He's going to be that link from defensive build-up to the mid build-up. Looking at Arsenal's previous passing maps as well, you can see how vital he is in receiving the ball for the Arsenal. Slightly ahead of Partey on the right-hand side, we've got the Mezzala, Martin Ødegaard, who wants to operate in that half channel that way, or it's going to be easier for him to combine with Bukayo Saka on the right-hand side, and then his partner is, of course, Declan Rice, being that box-to-box midfielder where he can sort of exploit that channel with Martinelli staying wide out as a winger. Talking about Martinelli on the left-hand side, we have gone with that winger on attack. I would say that Trossard plays a slightly different role. Trossard can find himself in central areas, more of an inverted winger, but with Martinelli, I have gone for the winger on attack. On the right-hand side, Bukayo Saka as the inside forward. He's going to be creative, but also try and be Arsenal's top goal scorer. And lastly, up top, we've got Kai Havertz as a deep line forward on attack. Do I need to say more? He's going to drop deep. He's going to link up play. What I can't achieve on Football Manager is him roaming to the right-hand side. So we get a ridiculous overload on the right-hand side, but it's fairly difficult to achieve on Football Manager. So I've just gone for the deep line forward on attack. For the attacking width, I've left it on standard. I don't believe Arsenal are structurally more narrow or more wide. I think Arsenal do a very good job in adapting to certain situations, so I've just left it on standard. Approach play, we are going to pass the ball into space. That just allows us to play more forward passes on Football Manager, and then we are going to obviously focus down the right-hand side, getting the best out of that right-hand side rotation and link up. Passing directness, shorter, tempo on higher, getting the ball further forward, but also trying to accumulate a lot of touches, especially in the midfield third. And then we are running at the defense as well, trying to be brave in bringing the ball forward. In transition, counter press and counter, the goalkeeper will distribute the ball quickly and roll it out to the centre backs. Lastly, out of possession, Arsenal will operate with a high press, but like I said, Arsenal do a great job at adapting to situations. So on Football Manager, you can move this line of engagement as you please. With the defensive line, we've left it on much higher, trigger press much more often, prevent the short goalkeeper distribution, get stuck in and step up more. Of course, this is going to get better results on Football Manager. Now, Arsenal might not necessarily defend with a much higher defensive line. The trigger press might not be a much more often, but hey, it looks good on Football Manager. Now, we aren't going to forget the set pieces. Of course, it's played a huge role in Arsenal's success so far. The type of delivery, we're going to leave it on in swinging, and we are going to aim for, well, we've left it on mix. Again, Arsenal can adapt. They won't necessarily send all their corners to the far post or all their corners to the near post. It's going to be a mixed delivery. In the box is where things get interesting. As you can see, I've tried to get a lot of people operating at the far post. So A1, attack the far post. A2, lurk at the far post. A3 will attack the near post, but then A4, again, attacking at the far post. For the box threats, we have to make sure we are marking the goalkeeper, making it difficult for him to come off his line and claim the ball, but we're also going to have a player attack the ball from the edge of the area. If the ball or the corner is slightly overhit, then hopefully B2, who is attacking the ball from the edge of the area, can pick up the pieces. Arsenal will have a player come short. A lot of the times it is Martin Ødegaard, and then we've got two recovery defenders. One just staying back at all times, but we've also got one lurking outside of the area, trying to recover possession for the Arsenal. In my previous video, I realized that I've reached new viewers. Many people aren't familiar with this game. This game is called Football Manager 2024. Make sure you check it out. You can check it out on Steam, but it's also on the gaming platform Epic. That's the name, Epic. Just search Football Manager 2024 in Google. All the games were simulated. I didn't play any of the games, but Arsenal did manage to win the league, winning 29 out of their 38 games, losing 3 out of the 4 away from home, Man City, Fulham and Brentford. We got knocked out in the quarterfinals of the Champions League against Liverpool, and in the Emirates FA Cup, we won that. With the Carabao Cup though, we were the runners-up to Chelsea. Arsenal scoring the most goals, having the most shots for, the fewest shots against, and the best defensive record in the league. That sounds like Arsenal. I didn't have much of a say on who was starting, so Gabriel Jesus scored 17 goals. If I was playing the games, of course, it would have been Kai Havertz. And for the most assists, you can see Bukayo Saka there with 16, and Bukayo Saka also completed the most dribbles, so I mean, it clearly suited Bukayo Saka. In the Emirates FA Cup, we beat Middlesbrough. Yeah, shocking. Middlesbrough in the FA Cup final. Mikel Moreno, Saka and Jurrien Timber all on the score sheet. But unfortunately, that is where we are going to leave today's video. I hope you guys have enjoyed Arsenal's new attacking tweak. Make sure if you are new around here that you have liked this video. Make sure you're subscribed. Turn those notification bells on. If you're old around here, make sure you've liked this video. Make sure you should be subscribed already, but make sure those notification bells are turned on. I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe. God bless. Peace out.